A magnitude 5.9 earthquake has struck the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince. At least 14 people have died. Officials say dozens were injured, but the full extent of the damage is still emerging. The island is on a major fault line and prone to earthquakes. The latest tremor was one of the strongest to hit Haiti since the massive quake of 2010 that killed tens of thousands of people. Scientists have given their starkest warning yet on the risks of global warming. They say governments around the world have 12 years to prevent catastrophe. The report was published by the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and comes after 3 years of research. It's found that temperatures are rising faster than expected. Governments have set a target of limiting the warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Now they realize we'll reach that. By 2030, it'll take unprecedented changes in all aspects of society just to keep within that target. Even at 1.5 centigrade, the impact will be significant. It means coral reefs will be all but wiped out, and there'll be major, more frequent and intense droughts, more concerning. Countries in the southern hemisphere will be among the worst off.
The pledges that governments have made over the last 3 years are not enough to keep warming below 1.5 degrees C, even with ambitious and very challenging efforts after 2030. Carbon dioxide emissions would need to decline substantially before 2030 to avoid warming of more than 1.5 degrees C in the middle of the 21st century, followed by large-scale carbon dioxide removal. To be taken.
Okay, so that's only 12 years. That means it's going to happen in our lifetime. It's not only in the hands of the politicians. There are also lifestyle changes that each of us can and must make now. And the official word in Cameroon is that yesterday's elections were peaceful. That's despite several violent incidents in which at least 3 people died. That was in the English-speaking regions where a separatist uprising is underway. Unsurprisingly, though, voter turnout there was at its lowest ever. Officials have now started counting the votes, but they say it could take up to 2 weeks. Opposition leaders are already warning of fraud. President Paul Biya is the continent's second longest ruler. At a time when some African nations are working to create limits to presidential terms, Biya is hoping for a 7th term.
You can't avoid fraud. It's something that is inherent in Cameroon. We are used to fraud. When they say it takes 15 days to come up with the results of an election, then it's fraud.
No, there's no fraud. Everything went well. We did not hear of any troubles. And even if there are any, they need to prove it. So we're just waiting for the results.
And that is it for tonight. A brief look at your weather's next, followed by Let's Have It Out. Shahan will have more news for you at 10. Good night. See you again tomorrow.